Hello everyone, welcome to Kids Auto and Truck Repair. Today we have a 2006 Ford F350 with a 6.0 liter. The complaint on this truck is the truck does not start when the engine is hot. The owner told me that the vehicle starts well in the morning, but after he drives the truck for a couple miles and the engine reaches operating temperature, when he turns it off, it doesn't start back up. So when the engine is hot, it becomes a crank no start. So they brought the vehicle to our shop so we can figure out what's wrong with the engine. So the first thing I did when the truck got here, I connected my scan tool to the truck. I scanned the engine computer. We did not have any codes in the engine computer. And after that, I checked all the fluids under the hood. I checked the oil level. I checked my coolant level. I checked my fuel level in the tank. Everything was fine. Now, I wish I had brought you with me, but it was a very busy day. I had so much I was doing at the same time, and it was very hot. So just take my word for it. From experience, usually when you have that problem, the issue ends up being a defective IPR or a leak in the oil high pressure system. So that's what Kyle and I are testing right now. I want to make sure I pinpoint where the problem is so we can know what's causing this and repair it right the first time. We removed the valve cover on the driver's side. We are suspecting a leak around this rail, so we're going to show you what we're doing. But before Kyle sends air in the engine, so what we did was we removed the injection pressure sensor. No, IPS, injection pressure sensor. So we removed the IPS over here on top of the passenger side valve cover. So we got this regulator on to send compressed air in the high pressure system. So Carl is going to do that, so you can go ahead and send air in the system. Now there is a leak around this area. I don't know if you can hear it. We do have a leak somewhere here. Now I thought it was leaking from the injector, but it doesn't seem like it's leaking from the injector. It seems like it's leaking from this dummy plug over here. I hope the camera is picking up this noise. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour a little bit of oil around this area to see if we can change the pitch of this oil, of this leak. You hear that? Can you hear it? So I can change the pitch of this sound as I pour oil around this dummy plug. So we have a leak around this dummy plug. And this is what's causing this truck to not start when the engine gets hot. So Carl, you can go ahead and disconnect your air hose. So to fix this, we're gonna have to reseal the oil pressure rail, the high pressure rail. And ideally, we should also reseal the injectors. The injectors are not leaking, our leak is on the rail. But while we're here, I'm gonna recommend to the customer to reseal the injectors as well, especially these first two injectors over here. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I wanna remove this dummy plug so we can look at the O-rings on the dummy plug. This dummy plug has two O-rings on it. So we're gonna undo the dummy plug to see if the O-rings on the dummy plug are worn out. Can I have a pipe over here? Let's put some leverage. Let's get some leverage here. Good. So let's see what we got. Ah, check this out, buddy. Here's the problem.
It's missing.
Look at the O-ring. Haha, good. I am happy with what I see. This is the problem, guys. Okay, so the dummy plug O-ring is deteriorated. So this is the problem. So to fix this, we're gonna have to replace these O-rings, or we can just get a new dummy plug. And while we're here, I'm gonna recommend to the customer to reseal the rail. So we're gonna reseal the high pressure rail. I guess since this is very obvious, we don't have to reseal the injectors. What do you think, Carl?
I think that's replacing that would be good.
Should we reseal the injectors too, or no?
It would be safe, but no.
No? Okay. So yeah, so this is the problem. We're gonna get a new dummy plug and put this back together, and after that, this will be good to go. Now, I was kind of crossing my fingers. I'm glad it's on this side, because the other side over there is such a pain in the butt. Because ideally when you do this test, you have to remove both valve covers and pressurize the high pressure system to see where your leak is. So we got lucky. The leak is on the driver's side, which is pretty easy to get to. We removed that. And I also wanted to check around the high pressure pump, the high pressure oil pump, to see if we had a leak there. We had to remove the turbo to get there. So we don't have a leak there. We might reseal it just to be safe. And after that, we should be good to go. So this is how you find a leak on the high pressure system on the 6.0 diesel engine. So we're gonna leave this right over here. This is the problem. We're gonna have to replace this dummy plug to fix this 6.0 truck. Kyle, thank you, buddy.
No problem.
I feel comfortable now continuing, because now we know what the problem is. Isn't that cool?
I mean, it's pretty unique that I've never seen one of these.
You never seen one of those?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you have a 6.0 truck that becomes a crank nose start only when the engine is hot, make sure you check your IPR and also check your high pressure system. Your high pressure system that's controlled by the high pressure oil pump. And yeah, so basically, I believe what was happening with this is when it got hot, then it wasn't holding enough oil pressure in the rail.
Sealing.
You know, it was just dumping all the oil inside the cylinder head, and then it was losing oil pressure and it was hard to start. So once we replace this dummy plug, we'll be good to go. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope this is going to be helpful. If this is your first time here, subscribe to the channel. Leave us a comment if you work on these 6.0s. If you are a specialist, you know, on these 6.0s, let us know. I don't know if I mentioned that already. I hate working on these engines, but you know, it came to our shop and we love working on diesel trucks and we had to work on it. So at least we're now working on a Sprinter.
Yeah.
You know.
Something a little bit bigger.
Yes. Carl is becoming a specialist on a Sprinter. We work on a lot of Sprinters here. We're doing something different today. So thanks for watching. See you next time.
See you on the next job.